he knew you was a whole lot of woman from the beginning.
Yeah.
So what changed?
How do you know, how would you tell when a man is ready to be with a bold, strong, and independent woman?
Like, would I be how I am today had I received every single yes I've ever wanted? So now it becomes my baby versus my girl. And then Perfidia is just like my life versus, you know, or my freedom or my, even if you don't show it, but it hurts.
Bonjour, Teyana.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, you speak French?
It sounds like it, right?
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Bonjour. Bonjour. How are you? It was the same tone too. How are you?
How are you? I'm good. I'm very honored to have you.
Thank you.
I'm very happy to have you today. We have actually 15 minutes, so I'm going to jump right in all the questions that I want to ask you.
Okay.
The first is, I've been following you for such a long time, and I've been loving your work as a musician, as an artistic director, everything. And at a certain point, I felt like you didn't get the recognition that you deserved. You know, I felt like your talent was not fully seen. And now seeing you acting with DiCaprio under the direction of Paul Thomas Anderson, I want to know, what does it mean to you? How do you feel?
Honestly, I'm filled with so much gratitude because, to your point, it's like, you know, right after I retired music, I went straight into 1001, and then after 1001, this was the second role that I got. So it was almost like really emotional because I literally like prayed for this. You know what I'm saying? I prayed for times like this. I prayed for more yeses than nos that I received. It was like to get that call was everything because, you know, I took a faith leap. You know, this was my faith walk and I took a gamble and I didn't know what was next after I retired music. I didn't know everybody was telling me it was true. Like, oh, you leave music, it's gonna da-da-da-da, I don't know. You know, so it was kind of like, God was like, okay, cool. Like, you are trusting me and I'm gonna show you what trusting me look like. I don't take this lightly at all. You know, I'm so grateful. And I'm still pinching myself. Like, I'm still trying to make this make sense. I think it's really hitting now that I'm like all the way in London, you know what I'm saying? And like doing this, I'm like, this is wild. It's one thing to be in LA, you know, it's like LA.
In London?
Yeah, but it's like, oh, we're really traveling and this is really happening. This is really a thing. So I'm just like, I'm filled with so much gratitude and I'm just like, Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Regina Hall, Benicio del Toro. You know what I'm saying? Like, Wood Harris, like.
And you.
And me.
Find that to be true.
Also, Chase Infinity, you know, she's the baby of the crew, but she is absolutely stunning and absolutely amazing. So it's like, everywhere I look, even the baby of the crew, everybody is just amazing, you know? And I'm just so happy to be a part and share the same space as them, the same room as them, the same air as them. This is insane.
I love what you said when you said, I prayed for time like this where there will be more yes than no's. Do you have any advices maybe for people that are actually receiving no's and are waiting for a yes to happen?
Yes, well, one thing I always say is that the wait is not punishment, it's preparation for what's already written for you. You know, and I think once you understand that, those times that feel like maybe those no's was preparation. Like maybe those no's is just, they just weren't mine to have. You get what I'm saying? Like, would I be how I am today had I received every single yes I've ever wanted? Would I have the same grind? Would I have the same, you know, that same motivation, that same, intensity to get in there and do it and feel like I got a point to prove? I think a lot of what I do now is from all the no's that I received. It's like, oh, okay, cool. So, you know, yeah, this maybe this person or that person didn't bet on me, but Paul did and AV did. You get what I'm saying? So now it's like, I'm a soldier. Like, I'm your soldier and it's up from there. You know what I'm saying? Because you betted on me. You know what I'm saying? You believed in me. So now I'm going to go hard for you. And I remember telling that to Paul, like, you got me, I got you. And, you know, this is PTA we're talking about. You know? And he called me personally. You know? So it's just like, oh wow. You know what I'm saying? But would it have hit the same? Well, it would have hit the same regardless of this PTA. But I'm just saying that like how it makes me feel. You know what I'm saying? To make a character come to life, I leave everything. I put it all on the floor. I leave it all right there. But like I said, I don't think it would be the same if I didn't have that same grind and the, you know, the weight on my shoulders or the weight in regards to my patience level, you know? So I'm just like really grateful, very grateful and very blessed.
Yeah.
You know?
Sorry to interrupt. Oh, sorry.
If you turn a little bit because you're not, we're not getting your gorgeous face in the camera.
Oh, already?
Is that better, guys?
Okay.
Perfect, thanks so much. Okay, ready to carry on.
We thought our little 15 minutes was up, huh? I was like, wait,
like, what? We have only 5 minutes left on what's up? Okay. In the movie, you portray Perfidia Beverly Hills. Yeah. And what I loved about the character is that
oh my God, you say it so cute.
Yeah, Perfidia Beverly Hills. What I loved about her is that she was unapologetically herself.
Bitch, I felt like Tony Montana!
Yes.
And in the society we live in, when us women are unapologetically ourselves, we can be portrayed as hysterical, too loud, too much. I want to know, how do you, whether it's in your professional life, everyday life, stay unapologetically yourself as a
it's
woman?
crazy that you actually worded it the way you worded it, because that's what I say all the time, and that's why I admire Perfidia. I don't agree with a lot of the things that she do, a lot of the decisions that she make, but one thing we can all agree on is she's unapologetically herself, and she does not allow people to tear her down, because like you said, when you are unapologetically yourself, people got to figure out a way to bring you down. You don't get grace. Yeah. You don't get compassion. They'll barely even ask you if you're okay. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes being unapologetically yourself, and you know, the strong word gets blurred. So then they don't ask you if you're okay. They don't ask you how you're doing. They don't even understand that you're human. They don't understand that you have feelings as well. It's just, it's dope to see her not allow anybody to bring her down. She puts herself first. And I feel like even with us, like we're unapologetically ourselves, but sometimes it may still hurt a person trying to bring you down, or you may care about what people think and care about what people say, even if you don't show it, but it hurts. With Perfidia, it doesn't hurt. You see, she walked away from her own baby and man. She like, listen, this is the new consciousness. I'ma see y'all later. You get what I'm saying? But it's just like, you know, that's Perfidia, and she's literally standing 10 toes down on showing up for herself.
And that's a question that I want to ask you, because as you said, in a movie, without giving it out too much, but she decides to choose herself over her relationship because she feels like her man is not enough for her. And I want to know, how would you tell when a man is ready to be with a bold, strong, and independent woman?
You know, I think that ego and pride plays a big part. I think if you are secure with who you are, a woman will never be too much. I think when you're dealing with certain insecurities and certain things that you have to fix about yourself, it becomes a thing where it's kind of like misery loves company. And it becomes a thing where it's like, okay, cool, well, I gotta tear you down, or maybe I even have to humble you. You know what I'm saying? Let me put you down to keep you here, versus like continuing to lift you up and push you forward to be the best version of yourself. Because I'm quite sure if you're you and you're a lot, and this guy still scooped you up, he knew you was a whole lot of woman from the beginning. Yeah. So what changed? And I think that for Perfidia, I think it was also bigger than him being able to handle her or not handle her. I think that what you seen with Perfidia was a woman's postpartum depression being ignored. Yeah. Postpartum is something that's not highlighted enough, that's not spoken about enough. I think that we've seen a result of a woman's postpartum depression not being taken seriously. Yeah. Even though to the naked eye, to a person who's never had a child, they would be quick to judge Perfidia for choosing herself and walking out, or, you know, getting in the way, or whatever she did. And every woman handled their postpartum differently. Like just because I wouldn't have walked out on my child don't don't give me the space to judge Perfidia for how she handled her postpartum depression.
Yeah.
And I think that that's why it's important for people to see the signs early and to step in early so it doesn't result in this.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
as a mom yourself, wasn't it hard or was it complicated to portray a woman who decides to give up on her kid?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I also was, as a mother, was able to empathize as well. We don't agree with some of the things that Perfidia do, but we also don't judge. Who are we to judge? I think that the best thing to do is, how do we avoid this from happening?
Yeah.
How do we avoid even letting it get here? When you see the movie, if you've seen the movie, you seen it get there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you see, without giving it up, but you see when he could have walked through the door and nipped that in the bud, but he didn't. And then he's clutching his pearls when he see her walking out to show up for herself. So I think, you know, it's about showing up the first time, hearing me the first time, seeing me the first time. So I don't even think, you know, that is a thing where she may have been too much, because again, even when they first met, Perfidia was always Perfidia.
Yeah.
You see, Perfidia was cutting up since the beginning of the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Never lied about yourself.
He gravitated to that, and he loved that. But I think that, you know, it's a tricky thing. It's a tricky thing, and you know, sometimes even when you think you're doing good or you're doing the right thing, it's like you have to understand, you know, balance.
Yeah.
And I think in this movie you see that nobody's really good at balancing what they need to do. It's like one thing or the other. So it's like with Bob, it's like, oh, I'm all indulging my baby. So now it becomes my baby versus my girl.
My girl.
And then Perfidia is just like,
Yeah.
my life versus, you know, or my freedom or my, it's just everything is like one or the other. So it's like either I show up for myself or I be a mom. Whereas it's like, okay, we can do both. Things can coexist. But that goes for Bob as well.
Of course.
You know?
I think it's so interesting, even for the women that are going to watch this interview, to know that it's possible to keep your feminine side and also be a mom, because sometimes it's scary.
Exactly.
Even I myself, I do not have kids, and it scares me, because I'm like, the minute I'm going to have kid, my life as a woman, like only me being a woman just for myself is probably going to be over. You know,
No, but you know what's crazy? I have to say that I disagree, but again, no judgment,
Yeah.
because this is not that. What I will say is that's when your partner do play a part. I think that when we choose to have babies or, you know, start a family, I think everybody has a responsibility. Like being a mother, we put our life on the line.
Yeah.
And our bodies, whatever, you know,
Yeah.
our like as a woman before these kids, it was just me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a loner.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by that. Like, so it's just like, you're putting that on the line too. And you're putting up a little tiny bit of your freedom as well, if that's the term you want to use. You know, it's kind of like that freedom a little bit. However, it's like when that person got to be able to support you and show up for you as well. Again, it comes with the balance, you know? So it's the same way. If a man is going to work and your job is to hold it down at home, you know, it's still some type of like setup. It's a setup of, okay, cool, I got you at home, you go to work, you got the bills. Like, I'm just saying how whoever will have it that way. So it's kind of like, okay, you give me a baby, I go and get it to make sure I can provide for you and the baby, da-da-da. But also, all of that is fine, but it's also about the mental and emotional part of it as well. If you know that I'm laying it down on a line for you, you know, show up for me. Make me feel beautiful, make me feel seen, make me feel heard. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I think that if your partner is constantly, you know, bigging you up and vice versa, and you guys are creating a safe space to be accepted at any version you are, I think that everything will be fine and you won't feel necessarily like, oh my God, if I have a child, I'm like giving up so much. I think, you know, so I think with Perfidia, it's kind of like, oh my God, I don't feel seen, I don't feel heard, I don't feel boom, boom, boom.
I'm out. Yeah.
Exactly, you know, so I think it's just about creating a safe space for one another to show up. And that's the same thing with a guy, you know, making him feel handsome, making him feel seen and appreciated and heard and cherished. And I think it's all important. So it could feel as free as you allow it to feel. It could feel as free as he allow it to feel for you, and vice versa.
Okay, well, thank you so much for this advice. I wish we had more time, maybe next time.
I know, this was
I guess.
fun.
Yeah, this was fun.
For sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank
I
you
appreciate
for your time and congratulations
Yes,
again.
thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.